your talents and your passions. Tune in now and let's vibe, Zambia. BMTV, Zambia's light, Zambia's voice.
Ngawa upwa kuli Mario ni ule oma umeushire bombaini ule sungwa fe kumwana kashi ngaisa kwate inchito nishina menso asamika pamuto akwete amenso yabiri ala kwata amenso 6 chira chine chirengo mlandu wako bati ababa kashana nomba if you pofile pa mlandu wandalama akwate ndalama mpondokera lidata kwete mpia na lemusunga ine na lemusunga bwino ukasanga ati magi umwana kashala bomba ali upo kuma umeushi bomba ale mushitira na moto kamushitira moto ke amtengo ile moto ka ule Mario akula sendera mona maule mwe bakashana balele mulefa yaba umya bakwete ndalama tamulefa yo umeushi kwete ndalama ndemi yeba ifala twale chita target aba umebale bashikwete ndalama pantu mwaume ngawa muno mwaume wabafi ali ba very smart na fuala katambala ka white tutute amatoloshi sapato sha white uriyo mwaume ine shale mfamu life mumwanti umwaume fyo wa smart so na mulolesha shale mfa ya reason na le ishwati uyu mwaume inangu tukekale mungande nchito yako ya ma office nga yapo ya busaka takafwa yenchito kumbi chawa mana upo kumwaume ule moneka na worksuit na jombo pantu akayako empa mu garden y'abantu nkaliyo bwadi umukashuobe age kasha boyfriend eno boyfriend akala mpere mpyo kuchile yo 150 ole mpera tawaka muikate nishapo apondoka ababene mule mona bengi bapondweke bana mayo kairi umulumesa na 100 kwacha elwa ya kuli boyfriend ampera 10 pin apenda mwevele mayo ika 10 kwa 8 pin 2 pin na ina na puli la mashawama kaishanti
We are about to lose a lot of money.
I thought we were supposed to be fighting this battle as brothers, as family, and not be divided.
Are we the family that shoot first and ask questions later? Father never wanted me. He disowned me.
Hey,
Hey, Imwe.
Even Aunt Eliza. Yes, Aunt Eliza was one of the people that cooked for Dad.
We have a problem.
What is it?
The inspectors connected Elizabeth to the death of my brother.
Leave Kondwani to me. I'll handle him.
What is this?
Those are your divorce papers.
What if it is true? What if someone did kill my father?
So I was right. My father was murdered.
Good evening. Welcome to BMTV Main News. We are live on Topstar, channel 114, live on Facebook, BMTV channel 114, and on YouTube as BMTV Zambia. You can also stream on www.bmtvzambia.com. Now, they say every story has a heartbeat, and tonight we've got our finger right on the pulse with a couple of stories. Let's take a look at some that are making headlines today. Ministry of Education inducts newly employed procurement officers as government is praised. Harry Kalawa successfully files in nomination papers. Brian Mundubile presents 1,000 supporters for presidential nominations. And in international news, Xi hosts Putin in Beijing following Trump's China visit, while in sports, Zesco United ready for Mines United clash. To present the news in detail, my name is Tamwani Nkata. Government has been commended for having employed 126 procurement officers in the Ministry of Education who have since been deployed to all the 116 districts across the country. Zambia Institute of Purchasing and Supply President Mr. Daniel Kabamba said the move was a reflection of government's intention to ensure efficiency and accountability in the Education Ministry's procurement processes. The ZIP's president said this at a procurement orientation and streaming workshop to orient the newly employed officers. And the head of procurement at the Ministry of Education, Mr. Afet Pongolani, has called on the government institutions to emulate the Ministry of Education, which is determined to uphold professionalism, ensure transparency and accountability in public procurement. The workshop was held to ensure that procurement systems are streamlined from MOE headquarters down to district level in order to treat all procurements in the education sector as one. At the same occasion, procurement consultant and founder of ZIP's Mishek Kauma emphasized on the need for employing procurement experts instead of using teachers in the procurement process. The one-week workshop, which closed last Friday in Lusaka, attracted speakers from Zambia Public Authority ZPPA and senior officials from the ministry. More details in the following clip.
Is that we are trying to develop a capacity of these officers. Remember, they've just come from schools and they have no idea of what the industry operates like. But the Ministry of Education has taken it upon itself, to bring all these people from all over the country, in all the districts across the country, to come and be oriented. And I think it's the concerns that have been coming from the President, His Excellency Mr. Kande Chilema, of being slow, matters to do with quality, matters have been price, escalation and the like. All those matters have been addressed in this kind of workshops.
Of education. So we are very humbled actually to say this to the Minister of Education and of course the entire government to allow our new members in the background that they can join our profession to reduce misprocurements and the willful failure to compliance to procurement regulations and the procurement laws. So we are very excited. And the reason of doing that is that we hope that in the future we can have more members. We still have a lot of qualified professionals who have no jobs. So these people behind, they've been given that rare opportunity.
Harry Kalaba has successfully filed in nomination papers before the Electoral Commission of Zambia at the Mulungushi International Conference Center in Lusaka ahead of the forthcoming elections. Kalaba, who arrived at the nomination center in the company of party officials and hundreds of supporters, expressed confidence in his candidature and his readiness to participate in the country's electoral process. Speaking shortly after filing in, the Citizen First Party leader said his party is prepared to provide alternative leadership aimed at addressing the economic and social challenges affecting many Zambians. Meanwhile, security officers maintained tight security around the nomination center as political party supporters gathered to witness the filing process. The filing of nomination papers marks another key step in the country's electoral calendar as political parties intensify campaigns ahead of the polls. More details from the following clip.
Will be appearing on the ballot paper. Can assure that we have your aspirations. Together as a people is much more than what divides us. I think what should be of our interests are the many issues that are making Zambia make progress. And those are the issues we should all congregate around. We want to tell you that we'll be coming to campaign around the country, starting now until the 15th of August. And we'll ensure that every corner of this country is visited and hope is restored in Zambia.
And in a related development, opposition leader Brian Mundubile has officially presented his 1,000 supporters drawn from all the 10 provinces of the country ahead of the nominations. The exercise marks a key requirement in the presidential nomination process as political parties and aspiring candidates gear up for the upcoming general elections. Later in the day, Mundubile is expected to attend another nomination-related event at the Bulungushi International Conference Center. The National Restoration Party, NAREP President Ezra Ngulube, has advised all party leaders responsible for managing elections that elections are won during the adoption process. Political parties and political alliances, including the United Party for National Development UPND Alliance, must understand the importance of adopting leaders who are genuinely connected to the grassroots. Mr. Ngulube, in a statement, says that political leadership should not be determined by popularity on Facebook or influence within party secretariats alone. Instead, the people on the ground must remain at the center of the adoption process because they are the ones who determine victory during elections. He adds that if the adoption process is not managed properly, it risks repeating the same mistakes that have been made before without taking the opportunity to learn from them. Political parties must move away from focusing on pocket change and personal interests and instead focus on serving the people and promoting development for the country, Zambia. He further states that as leaders, national development and the interests of ordinary citizens must be priority. Zambia deserves leadership that understands the needs of the people and remains accountable to the grassroots. The Department of National Parks and Wildlife, DNPW, under the Ministry of Tourism, wishes to inform the public of two unfortunate hyena attack incidents occurred in Chief Zumwanda's area of Lumezi district on the 15th of May 2026. The first incident involved the tragic death of a 12-year-old Elias Nyirenda of Chitukuko village. According to reports, the juvenile was attacked by a hyena between 19 and 20 hours while returning home from a football match in the company of his friend. Despite efforts by community members to rescue him and rush him to Ngonga Clinic, he was pronounced dead upon arrival. His remains were later transferred to Lumezi Mission Hospital mortuary for preservation and post-mortem examination. In a separate incident on the same evening, a 2-year-old child, Charity Sakala of Maikeli village, sustained severe head injuries after being attacked by a hyena near her family home between 18 and 19 hours. The child was rescued after her elder sister bravely raised alarm and pursued the animal, forcing it to flee into the nearby bushes. Charity Sakala is currently receiving treatment at Lumezi Hospital. Following the incidents, officers from the Department of National Parks and Wildlife in Lundazi were immediately deployed to affected areas to assess the situation, provide technical support to the affected families, and coordinate response measures. Control officers have since been deployed to track and eliminate the problematic animal in order to prevent further attacks. We'll take our first set of commercials and we'll be back for international news.
You look miserable. Are you okay?
I'm pregnant.
Compliments of the season to you too. What is this?
Divorce papers.
You have kept me childless, and you want me to stop?
Here I am thinking I am a sinner, and I want to see the Messiah, but
what happened to this woman in the picture? You spend the whole day wrapping my woman up in a tank. So do you think I buy this as decorations?
I know you think I'm the cause of this. Believe me, I'm 100% okay.
What are you doing? Come on, please. What is this?
You don't wear them.
But those are still mine.
How could you? Do you love her that much to humiliate me to such an extent?
You
refer to me as a whore.
So it's true you can get someone out of the ghetto, but you can't get the ghetto out of their mind.
That man who comes here will soon know why he should have stayed home and not here.
Nothing boza you, boza you.
You are the reason why.
Welcome back. You're still watching the BMTV main news at 18 hours. And now for international news. Chinese President Xi Jinping hosted Russian President Vladimir Putin in Beijing less than a week after US President Donald Trump concluded his own visit to China, highlighting the growing importance of the world's relations among the world's major powers. Moscow dismissed suggestions that the timing of Putin's trip was linked to Trump's visit. However, analysts say the back-to-back diplomacy reflects shifting dynamics in the international system. Zhang Zheng, deputy director of the Center for Russian Studies at East China Normal University, said the meetings underscore increasing coordination between China, Russia, and the United States at a time when global institutions are becoming less effective. Putin has long viewed Russia's partnership with China as a strategic counterbalance to the West. But analysts say perceptions of the relationship are evolving, especially after Trump's recent engagement with Beijing. For more details, we monitored Africa News.
Chinese President Xi Jinping hosts his Russian counterpart in Beijing less than a week after US President Donald Trump visited China. Moscow says the visits are unrelated, but experts say the timing sends a strong geopolitical message.
To me, this is a very clear example of the increasing relevance and importance of coordination among major countries or major powers in today's international system, particularly among major countries like US, China, and Russia. So it's not coincidental that President Putin will come to Beijing to meet President Xi right after President Trump's recent visit to Beijing. I think the international system now is in a very much a process of disintegration, and also the existing international institutions overall has become less effective.
President Vladimir Putin has long viewed ties with China as a key global counterweight, but perceptions of that partnership are now shifting.
It seems from the Trump recent visit and also his response and his team's response to the visit to Beijing, I think the kind of perception of China-Russia bilateral relation as a pure evil rival is on the decline. It was more of a practical, from more practical perspective.
China remains Russia's biggest buyer of oil and gas, while Beijing is also accused of supplying key tech components used in Moscow's weapons industry.
And in more international news, the chief of the World Health Organization, Tedros Ghebreyesus, who declared the outbreak of Ebola in the Democratic Republic of Congo an international emergency last week, has said he's deeply concerned about the scale and speed of the epidemic. Officials say more than 513 cases were suspected in the country as of Tuesday, while one person has died in neighboring Uganda. It is feared that the outbreak may have been ongoing for several weeks before it was first detected on April 24th. There is no vaccine for the strain of the virus, fueling the latest rise in the cases, but the World Health Organization is evaluating whether other drugs may provide protection. For details in this story, we monitored BBC News.
Declared a FIC before convening an emergency committee. I did not do this lightly. I did it in accordance with Article 12 of the International Health Regulations after consulting the ministers of health of both countries, and because I'm deeply concerned about the scale.
Once the epicenter of the outbreak, and it's clear that we are just seeing the tip of the iceberg, and we need to get this under control. Ituri is the home of already a massive humanitarian crisis with conflict ongoing, so that will make getting this under control even that much harder.
What did you see there that has made you so concerned?
Well, one of the biggest concerns is that the health care infrastructure, which Save the Children supports, is still very basic, very rudimentary. There's not enough supplies of infection control, not enough chlorine, not enough protective gear for health workers, not enough body bags for safe and dignified burial. And so what we need urgently is to get those supplies in, to get messages out to.
We go for our second set of commercials. We'll return with sports news. Please do stay with us.
Ngawa upwa kuli Mario ni ule oma umeushire bombaini ule sungu afe kumwana kashi ngaisa kwate inchito nishina menso asamika pamutu akwete amenso yabiri ala kwata amenso 6 chira chine chirengo mlandu wako bati ababa kashana nomba ifyupo filepo pa mlandu wandalama akwate ndalama mpondokera lidata kwete mpia na lemusunga ine na lemusunga bwino ukasanga ati magi umwana kashala bomba ali upo kuma umeushi bomba ale mushitira na moto kamushitira moto ke amtengo ile moto ka ule Mario akula sendera mona maule mwe bakashana balele mulefa yaba umya bakwete ndalama tamulefa yo umwe umeushi ndalama ndemi yeba ifala twale chita target aba umebale bashikwete ndalama pantu mwaume ngawa muno mwaume wabafi ali ba very smart na fuala katambala ka white tutute amatoloshi sapato sha white uri mwaume ine share mfamu life mumwanti umwaume fyo wa smart so na mulolesha share mfa ya reason na le ishwati uyu mwaume inangu tukekale munga dencho yako ya ma office nga yapo ya busaka takafwa yenchi to kumbi chawa mana upo kumwaume ule moneka na work suit na jombo pantu akaya ko empa ma garden yabantu nkaliyo bwadi umukashuobe age kasha boyfriend ero boyfriend akala mpere mpyo kuchileyo 150 ole mpera tawaka muikate nishapo apondoka aba bene mule mona bengi bapondweke bana mayo kairi umurumesa na 100 kwacha ero aya kuri boyfriend ampera 10 pin apenda mwevele mayo ika 10 kwa 8 pin 2 pin na ina na puli na mashawama kaishandi
Welcome back, and now sports news. Zesco United coach says the team is fully prepared for the upcoming encounter against Mines United. The coach says the players have trained well ahead of the fixture and are focused on securing a positive result. He adds that despite expecting a tough game, the team remains confident and determined to deliver a strong performance. More details in the following report.
No, we are prepared very well. The boys are looking forward to the game against Mines, and I think there's a great morale, hoping we'll pick the maximum points. Yeah, and Mines, it's a team which was in the league. It was competing. Unfortunately, they already been eliminated in the league, and that's where the game is tricky, because they will just be playing for the badge. They are not playing for anything. They are, like you said, they won't have any pressure. But what is important is for just to psych the players to be ready for the game against Mines, to take this game as serious like any other game.
As we wrap up our news tonight, we take a recap on the stories that made headlines. Ministry of Education inducts newly employed procurement officers as government is praised. Harry Kalaba successfully files in nomination papers. Brian Munduwile presents 1,000 supporters for presidential nominations. As in international news, Xi hosts Putin in Beijing following Trump's China visit. While in sports, Zesco United ready for Mines United clash. On that note, we end tonight's news bulletin. On behalf of the production crew, Douglas Banda on transmission, Jackson Tembo on camera one, as well as our reporters, Ruth Musakavantu and Sontua Morris Sinkala. This has been Tamani Nkata. Do stay on BMTV and catch us for more news tomorrow. Good night.